So here's our upper accessory for the next 4 to 6 weeks. We have 4 movements here: the Z press, barbell curl, pausing dumbbell prone row, and the trap 3 raise, each movement performed with a 6-second pause. We're gonna run through those in the order they're written right now, starting with the Z press. The Z press, we're gonna use dumbbells. We're gonna have one in each hand, and we're gonna be sitting on the ground. I'm gonna take a seat with my legs together, and I'm sitting nice and tall here. I'm trying to keep the legs together. I don't wanna let them wobble out to the side. I don't wanna lean back. I'm gonna come up to this starting position with my palms facing forward, and I'm gonna press up. Coming back down, pressing up, under control. It's really gonna take a lot for you to brace and stabilize that position as you press. So that's the Z press. The next movement we have is the barbell curl. Now that we're getting into the summer season, obviously everyone wants to get a little pump for the beach, so why not throw a little barbell curl action in there? It's also really valuable for pulling movements like ring rows, like strict pull-ups. So this is gonna carry over there for those of you who struggle with really getting that initial pull on those movements. So we'll have a barbell. We're gonna go with an underhand grip. Just like we talked about with our other movements, this is about quality. It's not about the amount of weight or how fast we can rep through them. We'll keep our elbows near our sides. We'll come up and go back down. 2 things to notice here is I'm not leaning back. I'm not doing like a kipping barbell curl like this, all right? Let's take our hips and our body out of the equation and use our arms, our biceps in particular. And number 2 is my wrist. I'm not getting this floppy wrist. So my wrist isn't doing this. I'm keeping my wrist neutral to keep the tension on my biceps. All right, so nice and controlled through that. If that's easy for the prescribed reps and you like to add weight, definitely go ahead and do so. But again, quality first. Our next movement is the pausing dumbbell prone row. This is really valuable for the top of our pulling movements. It really forces you to focus on that final range of motion. So for those of us doing chest to bar pull-ups, or maybe doing muscle ups, it really helps target that top end range of motion. That's why we have this bench set up. We're gonna be starting from an elevated surface. It might not need to be this extreme. Maybe there's a 45-pound plate under each side. It just depends upon the length of your arms. I'm gonna set up face down, so whenever you hear the term prone, facing towards the floor. And I'm going to start on the bench with the dumbbells here. In this starting position, I don't want to be relaxed. I want to keep my shoulders pulled not just up, but up and back. All right, so I'm not shrugging forward, I'm up and back. Then from here, I'm going to pull those dumbbells up to my armpit, or as close to it as possible, and pause there for 2 seconds, and then go back down. If I need to, I might reset my shoulders, and then come back up, pause for 2 seconds, go back down. What we want to see during that movement is keeping the shoulders here, not pulling from here, but pulling from here. And number 2 is when we get to that top of our range of motion, is sticking it and pausing there for 2 seconds. We don't want to have so much weight that we can only get to here, and we don't want to have so much weight that we get here and then pause there. Pull as high as you can and pause in that position. If you can't do that, then go a little lighter. So again, to wrap it up, in that movement, I'm going to be on the bench. My shoulders get pulled back. Now while keeping my shoulders there, I pull up and I hold that position. It's here, it's not there, it's not there. It's here and there. And you'll feel that in that upper back through here. The last movement is our trap 3 raise. This is something you can see as a 6-second pause. You might be working with light weight, you might not be working with any weight. But that's why I have this, this weight right here. We want to find a position where when we start, our torso is leaned forward, inclined forward, but it's not a significant incline. So I'm not in this position. I'm pretty upright. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this dumbbell, I'm gonna go from here, up, and pause for 6 seconds. And then back down, pause for 6 seconds. And I'll do that, it's gonna be for 6 reps. So 6 reps, each with a 6-second pause. Now a few things there. Number 1 is when we go up, we wanna get to a position that's a subtle Y. So we're not out here, we're not up, like our body's in an I position, we're in more of a Y. That's number 1. Number 2 is the arm doesn't bend. So when I'm doing this movement and I'm supporting myself, I don't start here and then go like this. I start here and then come up and hold with a locked elbow. So if taking that weight away allows you to be more effective with that, then go with no weight. And number 3 is where you're pulling from. We don't want to pull and lock out in that position using this area. I want you to think about pulling and using this area, the lower trap. So if I'm here, if I do it the wrong way, I'm going to be focused on pulling and shrugging my shoulder up like this. And I can feel that all up in here. If I focus the right way, I'm in this position, and I can really feel that lower trap being lit up during that hold. So those are the 4 movements for our upper accessory. That's what we'll be rotating through for the next cycle.